My name is Rob Ash. I'm the head football coach at Montana State University in Bozeman, Montana. Been here 4 years as the head coach, but I've been a head coach for a long time. I was a head coach at age 27 out in Pennsylvania, Division III school by the name of Juniata College in Huntington, Pennsylvania. After 9 years there, I became the head football coach at Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa. I was the head coach at Drake for 18 years, and we took the Drake program from a non-scholarship program back to 1AA and helped form the Pioneer Football League. Had some good teams there at Drake, and then in 2007, I moved to Bozeman to take over the Montana State program, primarily because I was interested in trying to find a program where we would have enough support and funding to try to compete for the national championship in the football championship subdivision. And this program has that kind of support, and it's very exciting to be here. I think it's a fabulous honor for him, and we're very grateful that he's been selected for this honor. I do think it's well-deserved because he's a young man who came in and did his redshirt year and earned his playing time by paying his dues for that entire year. But he had a tough challenge in front of him because we had a fifth-year senior quarterback who was returning after playing a lot for the previous 2 years and starting a lot of games for us. It was a very, very difficult decision that we made at the beginning of this season to start Denarius McGee as a redshirt freshman ahead of our fifth-year senior quarterback. Put a lot of pressure on Denarius, obviously, to go out and perform in his first college football exposure. And from the very first game of the season, throughout the entire season, he was magnificent. He played at a very high level. We won 9 out of our 11 games. He ended up being the offensive player of the year in the Big Sky Conference as we won that championship. And it was a fabulous performance for a young man playing his first season of college football. Well, I've kind of tried to stay out of his way, honestly. He's a tremendous leader, and I think that's the most important thing. And all I've tried to do with Denarius is just support his basic innate nature, which is it's all about the team and not about himself. Denarius doesn't play for statistics; he plays for victories. He doesn't play for a big play. He plays to just execute each play one at a time as he goes through each game, and then the results are what they are at the end of the game. And so I've tried to just embrace his basic human nature, which is a highly competitive young man who really, truly only cares about the team and winning the games, and we've tried to embrace that from him. And I've tried to protect him a little bit from himself and just tell him that what he's doing is right on target, and not to get caught up in all the hype that surrounds outstanding players. He's a passer first, but he's an extremely talented athlete, and so he can do it all. He's not a runner, though, that will go out and try to rush for 150, 200 yards. He likes to throw the football, and so when he scrambles or when he rolls out, he's always looking to pass. And I think his greatest plays this year happened a lot of times in situations where the play would break down. He would scramble, but instead of just tucking the ball and trying to get 5 yards, he would run around, buy some time, keep his eyes downfield, and then eventually find a receiver, frequently for a big play. Now, he will pull it down and run, and he's very athletic and very capable of doing that. And so he was a dual threat, but he was a passer first. The other thing that makes him special is that he has unbelievable vision of the field. He knows the coverages, he knows the seams, and he has that ability that very few quarterbacks have to be calm in the pocket with all the rush and all the pressure around him and be completely unfazed by that, looking downfield, finding an open area, delivering the ball ahead of time, and then when the ball gets to that open area, the receiver arrives at the same time, and they hook up for some just magnificent, picturesque completions. He's an extremely talented quarterback. We want to be very balanced, first of all. We're not just going to throw the ball 50, 60 times a game. We want to run the football. We kind of have an interesting mix of styles because we can be wide open. We can be 5 wide receivers, spread formations, but we also have tight ends that we can put in the game, and we can run more power sets. And so we try to be very multiple and very balanced. And then the other thing we try to do is we try to play with an up-tempo type of pace the game. So we can get up, snap the ball quickly. We can get up and we call every play at the line. We never huddle. And then we can also simulate a snap if the defense to sort of declare what they're doing, and then call an audible from the line of scrimmage to take advantage of what we see the defense doing. So kind of multiple, versatile, up-tempo. And our coordinator, Brian Wright, who was at Youngstown State for 9 years, was in his first year this year with us. So we had a new coordinator and a new quarterback. We led the conference in total offense, and we were one of the top teams in the country in total offense. So obviously those two meshed extremely well as first-year people. Football is extremely, extremely important in the state of Montana. It's the statewide sport. You know, I joke a lot about how the seasons in Montana is, it's football in the fall. The winter sport, the favorite winter sport is football recruiting. The favorite spring sport is spring football. And then the summertime, people go crazy waiting for the football season to start. And it's huge here in this state. And the rivalry between Montana and Montana State is one of the most fierce, most competitive, and most pervasive rivalries in the nation. I mean, you're a Bobcat or a Grizzly, and it's not just about that game in the fall or about the basketball game in the winter. It's a lifestyle, and it's a life choice that you make in this state, whether you're on one side of that divide or the other. And people live it. It's a passion for them, and the winner of the football game, has bragging rights for an entire year, and it never ever goes away, and it never lets up. Well, somebody said that the phrase to use is, "This is the last best place." It's absolutely gorgeous here in Bozeman. We're surrounded by the Rocky Mountains. We sit on a high plain, about 5,000 feet elevation. We have absolutely fantastic scenery, 300 days of sunshine a year, and it's just an unbelievable place to live. The university is one of the top research institutions in the nation. We have about 13,500 students, which makes us a little larger than the University of Montana, by the way, not that we're competitive with them on anything. And, it's also a great tourist area. We're 90 miles from Yellowstone National Park, some of the best fly fishing and some of the best hunting and skiing and outdoor activities, snowmobiling of any place in the country. So to those listeners out there, come and visit Bozeman, but don't move here. We don't want any more people here. Well, when you have a great quarterback returning, there's always reason for optimism. I think our biggest problem for 2011 is going to be just to sort of amp down the level of expectations, because they're going to be extremely high with Denarius McGee returning. We have a lot of other good players returning on this football team, and we have some issues. We have to replace some secondary players. We have to improve ourselves in the offensive line, but I think we have a great nucleus returning, and there's no question that our goal is to be a contender again for the conference championship, try to get in those playoffs, and then try to advance further than we did last year. I've tried to be consistent throughout my career as a person that has a philosophy about coaching that's solid and makes sense and has validity. So my approach has always been that, as a coach, I'm always striving to have my team be excellent in three areas. Obviously, their on-the-field performance, but also their academic performance, and then their behavior, the community, and their reputation on campus. So we work on, I believe in that. I think everything is interrelated. I think the same guy who misses a class is going to be the guy that's going to jump off sides in the red zone. And so we've tried to work with our guys as complete individuals, make sure they understand the team comes ahead of the individual, and their performance and their on the field and off the field both reflect on the team as much as what their individual performance might be. So we've always been able to create over a period of time. I've done this 3 different times, once at Juniata, once at Drake, and I'm building it here. A concept where guys are completely committed to the team and to each other, and they play hard. The whole is greater than the sum of the parts. And we try to play exciting, fun football so the guys enjoy themselves too. But there's a definite philosophy of subverting individual missions to the mission of the team. This is Rob Ash, Montana State University head football coach.